Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys a much needed update for Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, and I want to address this rumor that has run wild on social media that Boruto is now going to be a weekly manga and discuss if there's any merit to it, especially because quite a few of you guys were bringing it up in the comment section of the review, which speaking of the review, I will be re-uploading the Boruto 2 Blue Vortex review tomorrow. So those you guys who watched the video, if you can support the re-upload, that will be much appreciated. The review itself wasn't copyright struck down because I uploaded the review before the official release. My editor and I made some mistakes on the presentation of the video while trying to make it more visually appealing for you guys, and so I consulted with Team ABD and another editor I trust, my guy Isaiah, who is going to go through and retouch up the video for me. I'm going to add a few things myself, that way we don't run into the problem we did. My main editor from KRYPTONIAN is the one that did this Boruto chapter review and did an absolutely phenomenal job on it. That was just a mistake that we made on the review itself, so we're going to try this again next month. And it looks like using the full screen panels is why we got the strike itself. For those of you guys who don't make content and you just watch content here on YouTube, you might be wondering why I never tend to show the entire chapter in reviews, and it's because of the copyright system here on YouTube. I don't show the whole chapter, and what was presented was done so in a transformative way for critique, but with anime and manga, there are extra steps that have to be taken, like not using too many manga panels back to back. Sometimes you gotta switch things up, and that's everything that's gonna be applied to the re-upload itself, which I still gotta include the sponsor that we did for it due to the contract that I signed. So on to Boruto 2 Blue Vortex and the status of the manga going weekly. This whole rumor originated because people saw that the Shonen Jump app's official Twitter account promoted the upcoming Boruto chapter that drops tomorrow, and people took it to mean that an announcement was coming that the manga was switching to a weekly format, or that this was even an announcement that you could read it in Weekly Shonen Jump. This was fueled even further by the fact that Black Clover is being moved out of Weekly Shonen Jump to Jump Giga, a quarterly magazine that drops once every 3 months. That led to people connecting the dots and saying that Black Clover is out of Weekly Shonen Jump, so now Boruto can slide back into that spot, which led to a bunch of people getting excited, and I got flooded with DMs and I got tagged in a lot of posts saying that Boruto is now going to be weekly, and I'm about to explain to you why. If you see anyone saying this, they're wrong, and if possible, please share this video so that we can get the word out on this. The first thing to get out the way is that Shonen Jump's official Twitter account, the app in particular, promotes anything that is Shonen Jump related, not just the titles that are on Weekly Shonen Jump like One Piece and Jujutsu Kaisen. They also promote anime episodes, DVDs, and etc. They promote Jump Plus titles like Spy Family and Chainsaw Man, and they promote monthly titles in V-Jump magazine like Dragon Ball Super and Boruto. Basically, if it can be read on the Shonen Jump app, they promote it. So at the very root of this, it's just a misunderstanding by fans. Boruto is a big title on that app. It basically is coming off of a 3-month break, and the whole point of that tweet is to spread the awareness so that people who read the official release are made aware of it. Because here's the thing, I know that Boruto comes back tomorrow, and you know it comes back tomorrow. We've known for a while. However, if you're coming to a channel like mine that covers Naruto and Boruto daily, or you're going to any Naruto channel, whether they upload once or twice a week or once a month, you're more plugged in than any casual Naruto and Boruto fan. You're a hardcore fan. You most likely knew that the manga was about to return, especially if you watch my videos every day. However, the Shonen Jump app, for reference, has over 1 million followers, and it's going to be able to reach way more casual viewers than say anything I can do as a Naruto channel. Same with any Naruto channel you can think of. One tweet reminding people that Boruto's coming got 430,000 impressions, meaning the people who saw that tweet saw it for at least more than 3 seconds, which means that they read the tweet itself and got informed. It's Shueisha using social media for promotion, which is why they promote everything on that app. However, you might be wondering, what if you're wrong about this? What if this is the app saying that Boruto is moving to a weekly manga? Well, that brings me to the next point, which is whenever a major change like this occurs, there will always be an announcement made in the physical copy of the magazine. This is what happened when Boruto moved from Weekly Shonen Jump as a monthly title to moving to V-Jump magazine as a monthly title. You'll either see it as a special spread in the magazine like we had with the last Black Clover chapter announcing the manga was moving to another magazine, or you'll see the announcement on the first page of the manga chapter or on the bottom corner of the last page of the manga chapter itself, because you want to inform the people that are reading the magazine, hey, if you enjoy this series and if you want to continue reading it, you want to go here because this title won't be in this magazine for the next issue, so you need to look here. Boruto did have an announcement in this month's issue of V-Jump magazine. However, it's not what you think. There was no weekly manga announcement saying it would be going weekly to Shonen Jump or going on an irregular schedule to Jump Plus. The spread that we got for Boruto was a promotional page for the next issue with several manga and video games being shown, since V-Jump magazine is a shonen video game magazine. The manga titles themselves take a back seat. Boruto section reads as, and I'm quoting, "Boruto will make his comeback to Konoha. A fierce three-way battle begins now," which basically is a teaser for the next chapter that's going to be in the magazine. I'm not saying this to be the bearer of bad news or to say kill the hype or anything like that, because if you really sit down and think about it for a second, I'd be one of the people most hyped about this, because every time a Boruto chapter drops, it brings in more people that I get a chance to make a first impression on, and more people to try and add to our growing family that we have here over in our community. I'd be one of the loudest voices possible screaming if this was the case. However, that's not the case. The manga is not moving to the weekly magazine of V-Jump magazine. I will say though, Boruto releasing bi-weekly chapters is not out the question depending on what level of support is given. Typically, the contracts are set, but depending on the success of a series, changes can be made, which is why you'll hear me say fans should read everything on the official app even after they've read the leaked chapter. It's something I practice myself, and if you're financially able to, purchase the manga volumes from over in Japan, because those sales matter quite a bit. Boruto, when it was in the Weekly Shonen Jump magazine, for a time it did release bi-weekly chapters occasionally, but that was only because Ikimoto had begun working on the chapters from the time that Boruto the movie was literally in theaters, and he had the literal storyboards for the movie for reference. That's why when you get past the aesthetics of how Sasuke's face looked, because that was Ikimoto's art style, and look at the backgrounds and the detail on the clothes and things of that nature, that was some of Ikimoto's best work because he had the most time to prepare it. He had several months before you saw those chapters. Once we got past the Momoshiki arc, things changed, but we still have fans who cling to Ikimoto's mangaka statement in, I believe, Boruto volume 2 or 3, where he says that he works alone. That was only the case for the versus Momoshiki arc for the reasons I just went over. He had access to the storyboards. There was no reason to get assistance. He's had a team of assistants all the way back since the Mujina Bandits arc is being drawn. We learned as much back when Ikimoto, writers from the anime, and an editor assigned to Boruto and V-Jump magazine, Taguchi, spoke about Ikimoto's drawing process with the manga over with an Italian website, and it was stated that Ikimoto had 3 assistants to help him create the 44 pages that we normally get for Boruto chapters and do the other work on the chapter after the deadline, which, to explain what that is to those of you guys who do not know, that's basically looking over the chapter in the magazine, and where you find mistakes like, say, a Sharingan was drawn incorrectly, or it's not drawn at all, or how in the early Boruto chapters, if you look closely at the magazine print, Naruto had the chakra seal of Hagoromo in the manga. Those are things that are fixed for the physical copy of the chapter itself that are printed for the manga volume that consists of 4 chapters, basically the tankobon. Ikimoto's assistants help him with inking, hatching, and they help with the backgrounds to make it easier on Ikimoto to focus on things that we see in the chapter, like the characters and their designs, putting more focus on that stuff. The average mangaka has between 3 to 6 assistants, so Ikimoto has 3, which is normal. For reference, Kishimoto at his peak in Naruto had 8 assistants. Hiro Mashima has 20 assistants to help him with 3 manga that are running concurrently right now simultaneously, including one that's being drawn by a former assistant, the same way that Boruto's being drawn by Kishimoto's old assistant Mikio Ikimoto. The number of assistants doesn't matter as much as you might think. Some mangaka have assistants, but they do most of the work themselves, like say Eiichiro Oda from One Piece, who despite having 5 assistants, he does most of the work himself. Toriyama, when he drew Dr. Slump, a title that was extremely big in Japan before Dragon Ball ever came out, which sold sold 35 million copies, which is basically double the amount that Black Clover has sold. For reference, to get an idea for how big that is, Toriyama only had one assistant for that and one assistant for Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball ended up selling 260 million copies, which for reference, Naruto as a franchise is on the verge of surpassing Dragon Ball at 250 million copies. It's only 10 million behind. Tite Kubo had 3 assistants for reference, but Tite Kubo did a lot of the work himself. Technically, if Boruto was to move to, say, Jump Plus with Chainsaw Man or Spy Family on in a regular schedule that can go from bi-weekly to even monthly, he has enough assistants to make it work. The same if he went to Weekly Shonen Jump and dropped 15 to 16 page chapters a week. That's why you guys heard me say repeatedly, if you want Boruto bi-weekly, when Sasuke Retsuden came out and Konoha Shinden came out and the Minato one-shot came out, I kept saying make sure to support those releases on the official app when possible, because Shueisha uses that data to see how healthy a series is. That's why I say, hey, if you read the leaked chapter, make sure you read it on the official release as well. It takes 2 to 3 minutes. You have time to go back and consume it on the official release. That's the time that you're going to spend wasting time on TikTok. You have the time for it. And the reason why I keep stressing that is because they use that data to see whether or not there's support for the Naruto IP and that the fan base can show up and support a bi-weekly or a spin-off material, because that's going to be reflected upon Boruto, which is why the civil war between Naruto fans and Boruto fans is absolutely ridiculous, because it's all in the same universe, it's a sequel, and it's all locked under the same IP. Anyway, again, I really appreciate if you guys will check out the chapter review being re-uploaded tomorrow, especially because there are changes made to the chapter to avoid copyright. And even if you've watched the review the first time, make sure to check it out, please. And in the meantime, share this video with anyone who bought into the rumor of Boruto being a weekly manga.